yesterday we had the early session at 8, and now we've saved the best for last. For all of you. Starting with why, we've got a big job to do. And our job is to help rebuild the American dream of home ownership. And we need to do that. We need to have all the right tools. Our consumers are demanding more relevant information than ever before. And it's up to us to rise to the occasion and to deliver that. I am so excited to launch this RAIN launch today. This is going to help you go to the next level, help our company go to the next level. We have Ann Kraft from Risk Media here today. She came all the way out from Florida to be with us today, and she's going to explain to you what the RAIN is and how you can do that to increase your business. So let's give a big hand to Ann Kraft.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Beautiful San Diego morning. Love it out here. You guys think this is humid, don't you?
Yeah.
This is the flattest my hair has been. This is not humid compared to Florida. Anybody here from Florida? You used to live there? What part? Miami? All right. Okay, cool. What made you come out here? Just looking outside?
Weather.
Well, thank you, David, for that introduction, and thank you guys all for coming this morning to hear about these new programs that we are providing to you guys through David's decision to be one of our broker partners in the RAIN network. How many people here are familiar with Riz Media? Okay. All right, we're usually getting about half of the people. Riz Media, just to bring you up to speed on who we are a media company in the real estate industry. We've been around for over 30 years, and we have been very focused on providing real estate professionals like yourselves with news and information to keep you up to speed of what's happening in the market as it relates to you and your careers and your education. If you're not necessarily, you haven't heard of us or seen our logo, maybe you've seen Real Estate Magazine. This is our national trade publication, so if you've seen that, that's who we are. We publish this each month. We also publish a daily news called the Daily Real Estate Advisor, which goes out every single day to over 500,000 real estate professionals nationwide. So we are very ingrained in the industry, and we have over 20 full-time writers and editors on staff that are creating news, doing research, finding out what people need to know about, and then relaying that information. We also do things like the Power Broker Report, the Power Broker Forums at the NAR conferences each year. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a background on us. Now, as far as what we are here to do, is we created a broker network called RAIN, which stands for RIS Media's Real Estate Information Network, about a year ago. And we created that to address an immediate need that was being brought to our attention by our broker partners that said, how can we as real estate brokers utilize the resources that you have to be more informationally relevant in our own market areas? Because it's not about being gatekeepers of information anymore, the way it used to be. How many people here have been in the industry more than 20 years? Okay, so good group. You've got such a great group of experienced realtors here. I'm surprised to see how many. But I'm sure that you guys know, those of you that have been around that long, it didn't used to be about all this free information share, right? It used to be about being gatekeepers of information, and that's how you gained market share, because you were the only one that had this information, whether it be listing information or just general knowledge. I mentioned earlier that Manhattan does not have an MLS. In Manhattan, if you want to see the property at whatever Park Place, you have to go to that listing broker. You can't get in there or see that information from any type of MLS system the way that you have everywhere else. Isn't that interesting? So that still is, that's how it all used to be. Alan Dalton, who is one of our marketing consultants on our team, when I hear him speak and he talks about this, he talks about how he actually used to train agents when he owned a real estate firm in New Jersey, going back 20, 25 years. And they actually had scripts to train agents how to take calls coming into the office. And the script would go something like this. Caller, does the house have 4 bedrooms? Agent, do you want 4 bedrooms?
Yep, I remember.
You remember that? Were you trained by Alan Dalton in New Jersey 20 years ago? But isn't that amazing? going into a pizza place and saying, oh, well, do you have pepperoni pizza? And they respond with, well, do you want pepperoni pizza? Okay? But that is how the industry was trained. And so when you think about the statistics that are out there about consumers' perceptions of our profession, you know, the old comparison of the used car salesman, that type of stuff, where did all that come from and where did that originate from? Could it have possibly have been because you guys were trained 20 years ago just to repeat people's questions back to them? You know, how about the tactic on a listing presentation when, you know, about overcoming objections, and they say, you know, the clients say to you, well, we can't make a decision tonight. There are courses out there that teach you to say, you can't make a decision tonight, and just keep repeating things back to them. I mean, so what kind of thought-provoking, you know, interaction does that really have? But that, again, is going back, that's back in the day. But what we need to do now is we need to really harness the fact that information is available everywhere. We need to be more open to provide a higher level of information than ever before if we ever really want to influence people's decisions and gain more business because of it. I'm sure all of you have seen things that say, contact me whenever you're ready to buy or sell, right? Well, what else does that say? What happens if I'm not ready to buy or sell right now, but I just have some questions about short sales?
Call somebody else.
Call somebody else, exactly. Whatever you do, don't call me to talk about real estate. I will show you properties, but I don't want to talk about concepts and educational information about real estate. So that's really the goal that we are helping you guys achieve, is to be more informationally relevant, to provide a higher level of content and access to resources that you don't have the time to come up with. We're empowering you with that through the RAIN program. And it's a testament to David and his team that they've decided to come on board, bring me out here, launch all of these things with you. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I want to start us off by showing you guys a quick video. Let me just refresh this real quick. Okay, and this will show you a little bit about what we're talking about here, how our world has changed as it relates to information share. Oops, we don't have audio. I think the audio is. It was working a second ago.
We have to be computer geniuses too.
No, that was from my speakers. I don't think the, oh, volume. Okay. Sorry, hold on. Okay, we're gonna start that over now that we know how to turn the volume up on the speakers. Sorry about that. Give this another try, shall we?
great music.
Well, that video was branded for you guys so that you'll be able to use that on, you know, any of your YouTube channels or Facebook posts or anything. But unbelievable. I mean, in the last 5 years, how much all of that has changed, and it's affecting everything we do every single day. So if you're not really looking at those things as ways that you can reach more people, but be relevant. Does anybody here not have a Facebook page? Anybody not have a Facebook page? Isn't that amazing? Okay, I mean, it's crazy when you think about it, but we did some surveys, and I'm going to share with you later on those results and why some of the pieces that we have are really beneficial. But, you know, unbelievable how much these social networking sites and our mobile devices have really, you know, if I leave my phone somewhere, I completely feel naked. I can't even go, I can't even think. I have to get my phone back, right? Because it's just a matter of, you feel so unconnected. So what we really are doing here is making sure that you guys understand the value of the information and what we can bring to you as members of the RAIN network. Now, this proverb I wanted to share with you as well because it means a lot. Little things mean a lot. This goes, for want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost. For want of a rider, the battle was lost. For want of a battle, the kingdom was lost. All for the want of a horseshoe nail. And what that means is little things mean a lot and really have an effect on the bigger picture. So when you're doing something as minor as a tweet or a Facebook post, you have to make sure that you're relevant because it can have good effects and it can also have bad effects. I'm sure you guys have people on your Facebook page that are other realtors and you kind of are surprised at some of the things that they might be posting, and you know that has an effect in a negative way just as other things can have a positive way. Now, the other piece is being relevant. So do you think that calendars and magnets and things in this information age are still relevant ways to communicate? Now, of course, if you do postcards and calendars and magnets and things like that versus somebody who doesn't, you'll be more successful and you'll make more business. But does this really educate people on what the needs are of consumers in the real estate industry today? So these are the things that, again, you know, the average consumer gets like 2.3 magnets from a realtor every year. You know, is that relevant now? Just the same way as repeating questions back to people isn't relevant anymore. You know, are you able to take a step forward and have more access to the tools that's meaningful? And typically you don't have the resources yourself or even within an organization such as this to come up with content and video and all those things. So that's where we come in so that in all of the areas that you're interacting with people, you will be more relevant. So RAIN, as I said, stands for RASE, is Real Estate Information Network. And now we're going to get into exactly what you guys get and how you can benefit from the decision of your company to become a part of the network. First and foremost is our mission statement, which is important for me to read off because I really think that it will make more sense as far as the real underlying meaning of what we're accomplishing with this network of brokers and agents. The RAIN network is an elite network of leading real estate brokerage firms throughout North America that is committed to providing consumers and their agents with robust, relevant, and timely real estate information that supports their real estate pursuits and goals. RAIN member companies are the market leaders in their respective regions and support the highest level of professionalism and the commitment to the belief that information share equals market share. Now that, to me, without knowing your company as well as all of you do, but just from what I've seen over the past couple of days and working with your team, like Erica and David, that really represents what your company is all about. It's about providing more tools and more information, but also the turnkey delivery systems to get that information out to the people that you're looking to influence so that you can be more relevant and looked at more as a resource to consumers when they're looking at real estate or selecting a realtor. So one of the first things that we offer to the company, now this is to the company as a whole. Has anybody been to the company website and clicked on that Resource Center button lately? Okay. Well, you want to do that later on today so that you can start getting a feel for the resources that you guys are now providing. That Resource Center button will allow consumers to visit the website and get information single brokerage website has property searches, has an agent roster, and has other things like maybe area tools. But this information is so non-existent in the industry that this is really going to beef up the presence of your website from the company perspective. Glossary of terms, so now somebody can come here and find out all of this information and use the website more as a resource. So you're providing information and not saying, contact us whenever you're ready to buy or sell, but until then get lost. You know, it's about providing more information and being more of a resource. Now, mobile. What we've also developed is a mobile version of the company website, because more and more people are going to websites and surfing the internet through their phones, right? If I'm sitting on the couch and I want to look something up, instead of going to my laptop in the next room, I'll just look it up right from my phone. So this is the new computer. So what you have to do is be more relevant and deliver information not only consistently, but deliver it in the ways in which consumers want to engage with it, which more and more, as the video showed, of course, is through mobile. So right now, if you go to the website, century21award.com from your phones, what you're going to see is the whole website that's kind of scrunched down into a little 2x2-inch frame, and you kind of have to zoom in, and it's hard to navigate through. Within the next coming weeks, we're going to be launching the mobile version of the website, which is an automatic redirect. So anybody that goes to the website from their mobile device, it will automatically return to them the right application for their particular phone. And not just the smartphones, this is any phone with internet access. You're going to see a very clear way to navigate through, do property searches, do GPS searches, get all of the real estate news. It's all going to be done very easily from their phone. Okay, so that's a great new application as well for the company website. But what does all that mean to you? Certainly, of course, the more traffic and the more benefit the company website provides, that does have a trickle-down effect to you as an agent within that company. But there are additional benefits specifically for you, for your education, and for your interaction with your clients and with your sphere. So I want to talk about those next. The first piece is our daily newsletter. Now, does anybody get the daily news from Riz Media right now, that daily news? Okay, a couple of you do. Well, now everybody in the entire organization is going to be receiving that. We are going to be receiving that from Century 21 Award. This is all of the news that is meant for you as a real estate professional. So this is the information of what's happening, what are the hottest topics, what are the new laws, what are people talking about, things that you're going to then be able to be more educated about so that you can share that with your clients. So this will be, you'll be receiving this each and every day. I encourage you to read it, at least scan through the headlines and see what's happening. So it's almost like getting a daily newspaper of real estate topics of what you as a real estate professional need to be kept aware of. So that's been the broker's commitment to really have you be more educated and informed. We also provide a monthly communication for you guys that you'll be receiving called Social Media Matters. Now here's where I want to share some of the statistics that we did from our survey last year. We did a national real estate census on social networking and social media. And the results were pretty telling. We had thousands and thousands of realtors take the survey. Anybody here respond to the survey? Okay, you did? All right. You're raising your hand for every single question that I asked today. But that survey was very telling about how much involvement there is in social media, social networking, but also how much business people are really getting from it. So out of all of the thousands of realtors that said they were involved in some way, be it on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, does anybody want to guess what percentage said that they were increasing their business because of it? 5%. Isn't that scary? That all of the time that we spend and all of the buzzwords, I mean, you go into any convention and all of the sessions about social media, social networking, they're packed, standing room only. So how many of you feel that you've made more money because of your involvement in social networking?
Some
Okay.
not more.
Sorry?
Some maybe not more.
Yeah, okay, all right. How many feel you've made more money from prospecting? I mean, so how come we're not here all talking about prospecting all day long, right? If that's where you guys are really seeing results. And the reason is that, you you guys are in an industry that is a very fine line between friends, family, followers, networks, and people that you want to do business with, because they're all the same, right? You want to do business with your brother's neighbor. You want to do business with the kids, friends of your children. You want to do business with the people that you're also in social networks with. I'm not trying to sell Ring membership to my cousins, but you guys are looking to be your cousin's realtor, of course, or referrals. So it's a very fine line, and you guys have a really tough job, because how is it that you can be involved in these social networks and not look superficial to the people that you're looking to do business with by consistently inserting your business opportunities to them? So there's a fine line that you guys have to worry about not crossing, but also you have to be personal at the same time as you need to put a business foot forward. So it's a tough spot. So this communication that your broker has committed to be sending to you guys each and every month is going to really guide you, because we at Riz Media, we have the resources to go out there and find out the agents that are doing this effectively, how they're doing it. We're analyzing their business plans. We're figuring out what they're using, frequency, types of posts, resources, and we're able to provide that to you in this educational piece each and every month to keep you guys on a bit of a strategic track as it relates to your involvement in these social networking groups and outlets, okay? And then we also will be supplying everybody a subscription to Real Estate Magazine. Does anybody subscribe to the magazine now? Anybody getting this? Okay, a couple of you do. Of course, you. I do. I feel like I have like a little string over here that's attached to your wrist, and
I used a different hand that time.
But you will also all be getting a digital subscription to Real Estate Magazine from, to keep you informed again. Now for some of the fun stuff. I mean, first of all, being able to have that for you guys and your educational benefits. Now, what's going to be launched within the next, I would say, week or two, in addition, are the tools that are going to be able to help you engage with consumers more. So you're not only going to be better educated yourself with what's going on from all of those tools, but you're now going to be that source of education to your clients. So it's almost like we're making you guys a mini version of Riz Media. As Riz Media is the educational source for the industry, we want to make you that source for all of the clients that you encounter. So the first piece that we're providing to everybody in the organization is your own personal resource center for your websites. So that website that I was talking about, or the resource center that I was talking about that will launch off the company websites, well, each and every one of you will be able to have a personalized version of that on your own websites. Okay? So now what you guys will be able to do in all of your marketing, whether it's business cards, it's postcards, it's flyers, any way that you market yourself, you'll now be able to say, I invite you to visit my website for resources of news, video, and information to keep you informed of what's happening in real estate today, which is a very, very powerful thing to say. Okay? How many of you guys that have a website, which should be everybody, but how many of you have property searches on your website? Okay, every hand goes up. How many of you have news updated every single week and multimedia video as a resource to your clients? Okay, one hand. So is that going to be a benefit? Is that going to be something that will really help you get a competitive edge, not over you, but everybody else in the industry? So that's not something that is traditionally done because it is a resource that you guys don't have. So we're providing that to you, and David's made that commitment to make sure that every single person has that news, video, and information on your websites. Okay? So now, the next time you go and post something on Facebook, it might say, hey everybody, there's a great video on how to stage a vacant home on my website. Click here to check it out. You think that'll be more relevant than looking for chickens for your farm bill, or guns for mafia wars, or whatever else is going on Facebook with those little games that everybody plays? Because that's not relevant. That's fun, but that's not what your clients want to see you doing on a Saturday morning when you're having an open house. Okay? So again, it's a way that you can be relevant with news and information now, and you can use that as calls to action back to your website. Click here for an article about this. If you want to know the true definition of a short sale, click So what we will do is we have different buttons and banners and links that we will provide you, and you simply plug that in on your website. You can give the code to your website designer, or if you do it yourself, it's a JavaScript, you just copy and paste it, and then that resource center will then launch as a pop-up window. It's going to have your picture on the top, all of your contact information, and then it'll be automatically updated. You don't even have to do anything, it just automatically happens for you. All right? Sound easy enough? Okay. So what about staying in touch? And I'm not allowing you to raise your hand on this question. How many of you feel you do a fantastic job of staying in touch with your past clients? Okay. One hand went up here. What do you do? If I can put you on the spot.
What do I do?
Here.
Oh, her.
Go ahead. Send newsletters. Okay. Hard copy or email? Okay. All right. So one of the things that, in real estate, you have to be relationship builders, but NAR reports that 87% of consumers that use a real estate agent today never hear from their realtor ever again. Isn't that scary? 87%. So that's telling, because there's a lot of business out there to be won. Because a lot of times would you think that most of your business comes from friends and family and referrals? Well, if that's where most of the business is being generated from, then your goal really is you have to win business from somebody else who also has a friend in real estate. Okay, so you have to really highlight yourself as being more of value to somebody who might have some type of personal connection. Now, I'm one of those statistics. I told this story to the earlier class. When I moved from New Jersey to Florida about 8 years ago, I was relocated with the company I was with, eNeighborhoods, at the time that many of you probably used or heard of in the past. And they moved about a dozen employees when they moved their corporate office. And there was a Coldwell Banker agent that was given the relocation. She sold about 12 of us houses. Never heard from her since the day of closing. Okay, that was 8 years ago. She's still in business. Because I actually looked her up just to see, because I was curious. Now, I still have a very nice vase in my living room from her, from my closing gift. But if she had me on just some type of simple email drip campaign, if she had picked up the phone every once in a while and called or shot me an email or something, she probably would have had tens of thousands of dollars in commissions from me over the years, because I've since bought 4 real estate investment properties. And I've never used her, I've never referred her. So there's a consequence. That little things mean a lot. If she had had me on some automated program, she would have had tens of thousands of dollars more in her pocket today. And probably more than that, because I would have referred her to other people. So if you're not doing a good job, this can be a great way to do that automatically. That's meaningful. The other thing is that you have to be consistent and you have to be relevant. So again, are magnets relevant today? The stainless steel appliances, they don't even hold magnets anymore. But so this newsletter is an automatic way that it will go out every single month to a list of up to 500 of your subscribers. You simply upload a list, or you can add them in manually. And every month this will go out personalized from you. Now the other piece that's hugely important here is the relevance of the information, because we're not putting in here things like how to bake an apple pie. It's Valentine's Day. Don't forget to, give your loved one flowers. That's stuff that media or that networking or marketing companies come up with because they don't have the media. We are a media company. So you can be confident that the news and the information that's going out on your behalf in these newsletters is relevant and it's timely. It's about what real issues are happening as it relates to consumers in the real estate industry. So that's going to go out on your behalf each and every month automatically. So nobody in this company will be one of those statistics where they never hear from their realtor again. Yes?
Can we choose the articles, or are they set?
They're set. It's completely automatic. Now you do have a way that you can have, you can view the email first. If you don't want it to go out automatically, you can turn your automation off. And then you'll always have an archive of all of the newsletters. And if you want to read it first and then hit send to my subscribers, you can do that. That gives you a little bit more control of when it goes, but you can't change the content in that newsletter. It's automatically done. Because we want it to be hands-free, all automatic. Okay?
Is there a way for it to go automatically to Facebook or anything like that?
No, there's not a way that, because the articles, the newsletter are wanted to, copy and paste that article and put it on your site, but that's what you want to do, is you want to put the content on your site, and on Facebook or Twitter, say, click here for this, and send the traffic to your site. Okay? That's how you would probably more want to do it. Yep,
When you're talking about relevant information, this is national.
it is
real estate.
national.
Can you get more specific with San Diego or California since the real estate market's so different in other states?
Yeah, we don't, this is information that is meant to be an impact to everybody in your sphere. And we had quite a discussion about this yesterday. It's a great question. And we get asked that question a lot. One is that the content that we're providing is relevant and timely, but it isn't geared towards any one geographic area because your reach is not necessarily in one geographic area. I mean, if you were to look on Facebook and see where geographically all the people on Facebook live, they're probably all over the country. They're friends from high school, from college, who knows where they are. And so we want your reach to be as general as possible and as large as possible. Okay, so if you want to come up with content for your own backyard, I mean, you can certainly do that, but all of this information is really meant to be for the masses and really be influential on the largest audience possible. Okay? All right? So that's the newsletter. Now, for the super fun stuff, because that was fun. This is going to be super fun. Do you have a question before we go on?
Space in the newsletter, but anything about fund users, if you want to add anything to that newsletter?
There is an upgrade opportunity for like a power user, which would be about, I think it's about $13 or $14 a month if you wanted to be able to customize the content, that you can do that, and it also has some other controls. The program that is provided, and I'm not here to try to upsell you on anything, but if you do want to have that extra higher level of control, which maybe 5 or 10% of the people that use the program would want, you could do that, but it would be an upgrade opportunity. Okay? All right? Okay. So, everybody take out your cell phones. I always joke, yeah, I said that last time, like, that's the first time you probably ever heard a speaker say that. All right? Because not only are you going to be able to be providing all of this content and information through your website and through these newsletter programs, but you're also going to be able to market your properties more effectively through text messaging and QR codes that's now going to be made available to you within the next week or two. So as everybody's turning on their cell phones, all right, everybody's seen American Idol, I'm sure, and when they ask you to vote, what are they asking you to do? Text. They say, to vote for Joey, send 1, 2, 3 to blah, 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 to vote for this person. So why aren't we doing that more often with our properties? Well, now you will be. Every one of your listings is going to be assigned a code that you can now put a sign rider. You can also advertise that text code in all of your print advertising, whether you do postcards, you do newspaper ads, you do any type of advertising on your... That's all right. That's my fault. I told you to do it.
Oh my goodness, how did this go on?
So that's going to be able to help you on a listing presentation, because now you're going to be able to market these properties. So what I want everybody to do is create a new SMS or text message. So go ahead on your phones, create a new text message, and it's what this is right here on the sign rider example. So the number that this message is going to be addressed to, which is kind of like the phone number, is 88500. So create a new text message to the number 88500. And in the body of the message, you simply type 287. Okay, and hit send. And this is going to be a real-time example of what you guys in this scenario, are the consumer. So you've just driven up to this property, you like it, you want to get more information about it, but what do you not want to do as a consumer? You never want to call an agent, right? You just want to get more information about the property. So you send this text message. So what you guys should all be receiving now are 2 text messages. One will be all of the details of the property, including a link to the pictures. Don't forget about that link. I want you to all click on that link that's in the body of the text message. the pictures? All right. Yeah. You didn't get anything back? Try it again. Make sure that it should come. The message, you're sending it to 88500. If you have any trouble, make sure you send the message to 88500. Now, there was one person in the last class who had Sprint, and she got back a message from Sprint saying that she had the short code disabled on her phone, and she wasn't able to get it, so she has to call Sprint and do something. So, if there's anybody that's having trouble, I mean, it's working pretty much for everybody.
Service access denied.
Yeah, you might want to call Sprint and just make sure that they haven't blocked your phone from doing the short codes. Yeah. Okay. Now, so that's a great way to share your listing information with consumers, right? Is a seller going to like that? You're going to do this? Absolutely. Now, the coolest part about it is I just got about 65 text messages. Because in this scenario, I'm the listing agent. So for all of your properties, you guys as the listing agent, you're going to start getting text messages that might sound like this. You have a new inquiry for your property, 69 East Avenue, from phone number 760-443-0075. Who's that? Who is that? It's got to be one of you guys. You guys know your cell phone numbers? 858-735-8355.
Me?
All right. 858-229-2200. All right. So it had to have worked. Oh, it did. Okay. See, I just made sure it worked for you. So imagine getting text messages on your phone every time somebody inquires about one of those properties. And you also get an email. Okay? So you're going to get that lead. Now, what do you do when you get that text message? What do you do? Text back. Text back. Okay? If somebody emails you, you email them back. If they text you, text them back. If they call you, call them back. Because that's their preferred, they're indicating to you what their preferred method of communication is. So if they're doing this text them back. And even if you're nearby, maybe if the home's vacant and you're only 10 minutes away, just be like, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll meet you at the Starbucks down the street. We'll take you to see it right now. You know, create some call to action. Now, I certainly would call them after a couple of days if I didn't hear back from my text, because you never want to let that lead go dry. But in the immediate response, I would text them back. Thank them for their inquiry and ask them if they'd like to schedule a showing. All right, cool stuff? All right. The other thing that I want to mention too is that these sign riders that you'll be able to be using, they cost about $5 a piece. You'll be able to reuse them because that code in the example here, that 287, when you sell that property, all you do is reassign 287 to your next new listing, and you just move that sign rider over. So those can all be reused. So you're not going to have to generate, you'll have to buy first, you know, if you've got 5 listings, you're probably going to have to buy 5 sign riders, but then you can reuse them. All right, good? Okay, everybody know what a QR code is? Who does not? Okay, all right, a couple people don't. A QR code is basically, it's like a barcode on a product that you scan at the supermarket, but it's a link. It's a code that encodes a link. So a QR code could be, you know, my name is Ann Craft. I can basically have AnnCraft.com, and I can go to probably about hundreds of websites out there, create a free QR code for AnnCraft.com. And it'll generate that black and white box looking thing, and then I can put that on things. I can put it on flyers, print ads, you know, wherever it is that you're advertising. So there's 2 ways that QR codes can work for your listings. There's a one-code system, which would basically be every single one of you will have that same exact QR code for all of your listings. The whole company will have one QR code. And that's something that you can basically put on your sign riders or get stickers and put them on the sign riders. So what happens is somebody can go up and scan that with their phone. Now they have to have obviously a QR code reader on their phone in order to do that. But you would scan it. Now, if everybody's using the same exact QR code, how is it going to give me property information about that particular property? Well, if I'm standing on the front lawn, it actually is going to use the GPS coordinates of my phone. It'll recognize where I am, and it'll give me the property information for 123 Main Street.
Does your GPS have to be hooked up to your phone?
Well, there's a couple things, right? My phone here in my hands, I do not have GPS on this because I've chosen not to pay for it. But the iPhones, the Android phones, it's there automatically. It's not an extra fee service on all phones. So the newer phones have the Android technology, or the iPhones, they do automatically have GPS. How many people here have an iPhone? Raise your hand. More than half the room. So you're not alienating a huge amount of population. Now, at the same time, if I were to go up and scan that QR code and I don't have GPS, all it's going to do is it'll say, we could not locate your physical location. Please enter the address that you're looking for so I can put it in, and then it can give me the information. Okay? There's also, so that's the one code system, and this is options that you guys have. You can use that, or you can also generate a brand new code for every property with one click. Your listings are all going to be there when you log in, and there's going to be a button that says generate QR code. And then that'll be a specific code for that listing. There's no fee for that. Then you can download that code and you can put it on things like your postcards, newspaper ads, print advertisements, because that'll be specifically for that listing. I don't have to be standing on the front lawn with my GPS coordinates to do it. So a great bell and whistle, a wonderful bell and whistle for your listing presentation. There's one drawback, and that's the lead. Because just like any link, because again, that QR code, all it is encoding a link. You don't get a lead when somebody just clicks on a link of one of your properties. It doesn't notify you all of a sudden. So the text messaging way is the only way that you're going to get that lead. The QR codes, you don't get that immediate lead sent to you. Okay? Any questions about that? Does that make sense for everybody? Yeah.
How do you get the listing information? Do you have to enter that, or is it pulled from the MLS?
It's all pulling from the MLS. That's the last thing that we're waiting on. That's why you guys haven't actually gotten your activation email yet, because we're just waiting on a couple of things trickling in from Sandicor to make it all, you said Sandicor before I even did, right? But as soon as that's all there, and we can confirm that every single one of you is getting your, we're getting the MLS data from every single one of you, that's when the switch is going to be on, and you guys are going to get a welcome email showing you how to link in and your username and password, and then all of your listings are automatically going to be there. Okay, there are some settings and stuff that you can also tweak. For example, if you have a tagline like spouses selling houses, or whatever it may be, you can put additional text in there, like for the text messages. So you can customize to a degree. I think it's maybe like 100 characters or something that you can customize on all the text messages that go out.
Question, if the text gives me their contact information, but the QR, as I understand it, does not,
Correct.
why would I do the QR? Because you're selling it.
It's a bell and whistle. It's a cool thing that on a listing, I think it's much more, yeah. That's the thing. If it were me, I would be marketing to a seller that I've got all this technology, and I would probably use both. You can actually have the text messaging and the QR codes. But it's a bell and whistle. It's cool. I mean, that's really it. I would use the text messaging. Yes.
Can I put in the system to have this information sent to my 800 capture system rather than my phone?
No.
And why is that? Just not set up that way?
It's not set up that way because we have your profile, we have all your mobile numbers that are, that's all coming through because the MLS makes that connection with the mobile number that's in your profile. So I'm sure you can change your mobile number in your profile, but then it's not going to come to you.
Oh, okay.
And you really want that in your pocket.
No, what I can do is, I'll have my mobile company send it to my 800, and then it bounces back from my 800 into my text.
Okay.
And then it's recorded in my 800.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, everybody's got little different systems, so we can't work in every direction. So it's there, and if you guys can tweak it how to meet your needs. All right? Okay, so that is everything that we have to show you today. But hopefully you guys feel that this is something that is going to not only benefit you guys in your relevancy and the way that you guys can market your listings. So I'd like you to give a big hand to David for supplying all of Right now, you guys are the only member in San Diego. So this is a very, very, very unique thing, and you guys should definitely be proud to be such a great organization that's providing you the cutting edge technology and making you more relevant with your news information. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ann, for being here. We appreciate you. Reflection of our commitment to you, of equipping you with the most relevant tools to help you do your business. This is our core values in action. We are 100% committed to